Dragon Lord is dead, we live in harmony. Alright, just waiting on J-Lo to exit.
Alright, we appear to be live. Welcome everyone to another round of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. This should be a good matchup. Indeed, Orpheus, welcome. Alright, I've given them the go-ahead and we're about to start. Just waiting on Twitch delay. What have we got in the gold room? Gold, a torch, and a key. No spells. Now, you'll notice right away that their stats are different. Indeed, Orpheus. Lowercase f that Jeal is using is a strength agility build, whereas Emptyeye has gone for the more traditional strength HP. And the castle appears to be up in the left-hand corner. Pretty good start. And both of them immediately dying because they do not have strength.
Hello, check 1, 2.
I think I heard. Yes, I did. Welcome.
Evening, J-Lo. How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining me.
No worries. Just saw in the Discord you're looking for someone to help out with commentary. I already got the streams up and running here, so I will sit back and lend you a hand, good sir.
Excellent.
So it looks like we have Emptyeye versus jealkeja.
Yes, we do. And we are still, neither of them have managed to kill anything yet.
Those Drakies can be pretty nasty when you're at level 1 with no equipment.
Yeah, considering they started with only a 4 strength.
Ouch. Gonna have
no
to find
spells.
some slimes, most likely. Anything of interest in the throne room?
Nothing beyond the usual. They found gold, a torch, and of course the key.
Right. So unless we see some towns very quickly here, it's probably going to be a bit of a slow grind to get out of the starting area. Looks like Emptyeye has found a town.
He did find a town. It appears to have been Brecconary, and nothing that he can afford. So it looks like he's choosing to completely restart to get the full gold back out of this one chest.
Could make
Especially
a
if he
large
gets a
difference
lucky
in starting out.
119 gold. That's actually the death necklace chest, so if we'd gotten that instead, that could have been huge. Because that sells for like 1,500.
It does, and on top of that, it being a sellable item means that he isn't going to lose any of that money upon dying. He'd be able to sell it for that nice chunk of change and buy some really nice starting gear. I almost wonder if he's going to... No, he's going to keep going. I was thinking maybe he's going to take a risk there, maybe reset 2 or 3 times, see if he can get that death necklace, but that does not appear to be the case.
Nope, he's just saving so he doesn't have to sit through the intro again.
Mm-hmm.
If he should die, and he's headed back to that town.
Wise choice.
Which,
But the 119 gold is enough to buy that club, and that will make a difference getting the first couple of levels, that's for sure.
yes, it is. And that's exactly what he's doing.
And probably going to pick up a herb and a dragon scale as well, would be my assumption.
Yep, because he has enough gold for that.
Son of Orpheus, the odds for the death necklace are 1 in 32. They are pretty low.
And he did buy a dragon scale, as we expected. And over on the other stream, we see Geel is choosing to do the same thing. He restarted. He's going to try to make it to town with that starting gold.
Any advantage at the start of the game helps out quite a bit.
Yes. With the very low stats they started with. Even something as simple as that club and a dragon scale is a huge boost.
Geel's picking up a couple of herbs there.
Yep, he did not have enough money after a death to buy the club. So he's buying a couple of herbs instead, and he's going to try to brute force something. He did buy a dragon scale, though.
I think he's got the club. His sprite is holding a weapon.
Oh, yes, he did buy it, and I missed it. I didn't see him go to the weapon shop.
Emptyeye is looking for something a little easier than magicians. Here's a Drakey.
No strength, no spells. Emptyeye level.
And that's not the stats that I think either player is going to be happy seeing at level 2.
No, they gained no strength.
No strength, minimal hit points, and probably most importantly this early on, no spells.
Exactly, Orf.
That's what we call karma.
Yep.
Very rough beginning to this seed.
I think it's fortunate that the other race, the runners have discussed waiting for this one to end before starting. Because this one may run long.
It's possible.
Because that race is scheduled for only an hour from now.
Oh, I see. Well, this seed could pick up in an awful hurry. You never know. You get a couple of really big levels that'll shorten the race considerably, but the early going is going to be a grind here, it looks like. Hop out of the castle, whack a Drakey or a ghost, die, and try again.
Yep. They need to gain either a lot of strength or the hurt spell would be nice right about now.
Well, there'd be lots of ways out of this early game hole. Even a ton of hit points at least gives you some staying power to try to explore the map a bit. Maybe you get a little lucky, find a nice treasure chest here, a set of armor there, you never know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they could always stumble into coal and find the item as the armor. That'd be huge.
Another player really wanting to dip into their very limited herb supply. Just swing away and pray is the strat right now.
Yep. And thank you everyone for the hosts I'm getting.
Less Magi Drakeys and more regular Drakeys would be ideal for both players right now. Looks like Emptyeye did finally use a herb to beat this ghost.
So 5 power, 33 magic points, but still no spells.
Still no spells is unfortunate, but that extra 5 strength is going to make those ghosts and magicians a lot easier to knock down. So Emptyeye with a slight advantage right now. Difference is only about 12 experience. But early on, that can make a pretty big difference. Jeal's still forced to fight Drakeys and Ghosts exclusively. Emptyeye can get a little more adventurous and get that next level a lot quicker. Almost beating a Magi Drakey there. It's not a game of almosts, though, sadly.
Not what Emptyeye wanted to see there. Magician has heal more.
As if they weren't hard enough to kill already. Meanwhile, Jeal used his herb on this ghost, so he's gonna catch up and hit level 3 here.
Yep. Nice crit to finish it off.
Would have been happier to see that crit at the start of the fight, I imagine. Save himself a couple of herbs.
Yeah.
And the Magi Drakey has heal more too.
Oh. Wow. Wanted to buy a stop spell.
Well, Ghosts and Drakeys it is. Stop spell or hurt would be pretty great. Hurt's going to one-shot most of these low-level enemies. Heal more won't even come into play. But yeah, either of those would be pretty huge. Even better than hurt, though, would be hurt more. Could leave the starting area and just, you know, toss a lucky hurt more here and there at an Axe Knight or a Green Dragon. Get a couple levels in one battle.
Yeah, with this 37 MP they have.
They will learn magic eventually. It is inevitable.
Yep, if nothing else, you're guaranteed to have them all by 16 in the randomizer.
Yep, I'm still waiting for that seed where you have no spells levels 1 through 15, and then all of a sudden you get all 10 spells upon reaching level 16. I'm still waiting for that.
It'll happen. If we play enough of these, it'll happen.
Yeah. Hopefully not tonight in a tournament race, because that's a little obnoxious, but I think it will happen eventually.
No, it'll happen in the tournament race. It'll happen in the grand final.
Good time for it, too.
They have both hit level 4. Still no spells.
Almost simultaneously, too. No spells, but the stat increases were pretty good that time around.
And we have synchronized deaths. Thou art dead.
Something that I think that we should add to the restream interface for later rounds is a death counter for both players. Might be a little more to keep track of if you're the one restreaming the match, but it'd be a fun little addition to have.
Yeah, that would be an interesting idea. We might want to discuss that with the others involved on the Discord later.
Well, that strength bonus is good. Both players are able to fairly comfortable beat a Magidrakey now, as long as it doesn't have the nerve to cast Heal More at the end of the battle.
Yep.
12 experience a battle is a whole lot better than 3 or 4.
Yep. This early 12 XP is a lot.
Assuming you can beat them from the word go. It only takes, I believe, 7 total Magidrakeys to hit level 5.
Sounds right.
Both players basically neck and neck in their experience gathering right now. Hopefully we get a nice level 5 and we can see some legit exploration get started here.
Not much out of level 5. They did gain a spell. Repel. Still none of the actual useful spells yet.
Yeah, Repel will save you a lot of time later on, but early on, it's more a hindrance than a help. The only thing you are repelling away are the monsters that you can actually fight.
Indeed.
If even.
Yeah.
I think their strength is still below 10, so I'm not sure what they're going to repel away with that, except for maybe slimes and red slimes. That would be it, though.
Yeah, let me look at the tracker. Their strength is at 13. Because they got none from level 5.
Well, Jeal's about to hit level 5 here. But yeah,
Just did.
looks like we'll be looking for level 6 before we can get anywhere.
Yep. This early grind.
It happens, though. I find in my experience, generally, seeds where you have to grind a bit at the start end up being pretty fast seeds mid-game to late game. The moment you get that breakthrough level, you are just cruising all the way until you're at Sharlock, when you maybe need to grind a couple more levels out to finish things off.
No, Jill, you don't have enough. It's 90 for the small shield. He only has 70.
Nice try, though.
Well, hi,
Those
Dawn.
NPCs. They do nothing at all with their lives, so they fill the hole in their existence by getting in Dragon Warrior's way. Yeah, Jeal's definitely going to get level 6. Looks like Emptyeye is trying to explore a little bit, though.
Yep. At the moment, they're both just grinding in this desert by the castle. Because that's where the things are that they can kill right now.
Yep.
Assuming said things don't cast heal more. Uh-oh. Welcome back.
What's going on with Emptyeye?
I don't know, his stream went offline. And he disappeared.
Do you have the IRC room open?
Yep, and he just left there as well. So I wonder if his
Oh.
internet crashed.
Could be a disconnector of something. I don't see him inside Discord either. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he dropped out of Discord as well.
I guess we'll have to wait a couple of minutes and see if he's got the game going.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see. Hopefully he's able to get back up.
Hopefully he hasn't lost all of his progress on the seed. We'll have something of a situation on our hands if that ends up being the case. We'll have to I guess we'll just have to wait and see what's going on with Emptyeye before we jump to any conclusions, though.
Yep. Well, it's trying to come back up. Oh, they got heal. He got heal at level 6. That's huge.
That is, with that NP.
Yeah.
Oh, Emptyeye is back. And he doesn't look to have lost any progress. That's good.
He also gained
Just a hiccup with the internet.
He also gained 17 strength.
That's a big level up.
So they finally have offense. Emptyeye will be glad when he hits 6 here in a minute. He will be very glad to see that level.
That's definitely the level that makes exploration possible. That zone right after the desert is a little nasty with Wraith Knights and Magi Wyverns, but with a little bit of luck and staying on the plains, you should be able to get past that, hopefully to a softer zone or two. Try to start finding some of this nice stuff that's just scattered all over the map right now.
Ouch. Where he can get one shot by a Magi Wyvern.
That's Dragon Warrior. Those Wyverns are scary. I used to have nightmares about the Wyvern when I was a child.
And Blue Dragon apparently has hurt more.
I mean, well, it's just a blue dragon. You have to give him something, right? Just a blue dragon. That's no big deal. Yeah, so we know in that zone, right past the desert, there's stone men, blue dragons, wraith knights, and magi wyverns. You don't want to hit an encounter in that zone.
This is the southern swamp cave. Let's see if I can find anything on the north end.
What a clutch escape. Surviving with 1 hit point. Running away from that knight. Very nice.
Oh, interesting. That cave that Jill found a second ago appears to have been swamp, and the north exit took him into the back end of the castle. But he does not have enough to buy a key.
No, he doesn't have enough in the bank.
He doesn't have enough to buy keys.
His path is clear. He knows what he's got to do. He can bust this thing wide open. He's just got to get there with 30 more gold than he's got right now.
Yep. And Emptyeye has managed to hit level 6. So he can finally go exploring.
So it'll be a little interesting to see how Geel approaches this. If he's just going to keep making runs, or if he's going to hit that all-important 83 gold, drop the safety save, and just keep trying to get through and buy that 1 key. 2 would be ideal, because then he would have all the keys, but 1 at least gets him inside the treasury, and that can make a huge difference, and it looks like that's what he's going to do.
Alright, let's see what we got here.
Alright, this time he has enough, so he buys a key, exits, and he's going to check the treasury.
Can't wait to see what's inside.
2 herbs and 2 gold chests, so gold grind is possible.
And if he so chooses, he can head right back through that cave and stock up on keys, so he's got plenty for later.
Probably a good idea.
Go to Bricknary.
Or another idea is to just walk back to Breckenary, pick up that copper sword and that large shield, get some proper armaments inside Dragon Warrior's hands.
Also a good idea, and I think that's what he's doing.
No. Okay, I guess repel doesn't really do anything.
Emptyeye's also found the back door here. He's going to have a similar issue if he makes it through here.
Which he did not.
Nope, Skeleton had other ideas. Emptyeye, come back! We can't have a race with just one person.
Looks like his net is glitching again.
Yeah, that's sad.
Well, he's back.
Never want that to happen in the middle of a race.
No, I've had it happen enough times. That's annoying.
Okay, I'm gonna start
Yeah, here, man. Those internet providers, they don't understand that sometimes you have to race Dragon Warrior. You know, they have to dedicate all the resources to your machine and your machine only. They just don't get it.
Okay, that's good.
So, alert shield. Copper sword, and he's got enough for chainmail.
That'll set him up pretty nicely for the
a
mid-game.
That's quite a stat boost for him.
Mm-hmm. $20 defense and 6 more attack? Absolutely. Sign me up.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
And even though he was just killed by an axe knight there, looks like he's got the presence of mind to just try to rally up a bit more gold and go take care of his keys issue right now. Very useful backdoor into the castle up top there.
I probably should have saved up enough gold for 2 keys.
Meanwhile, MTI still not too thrilled with his stats at level 6. Looks like he's going to go for level 7 in the desert here.
bad idea. We'll see what it gives them.
I gotta hit a magician on the way up.
He's at least found the swamp cave, so I'm hoping once his level issue gets sorted out that he'll remember to head back up there, and then he'll be like, oh, keys. Get him right back into the race, caught up with Jeel.
Yep.
I'm gonna play this. I'm pretty sure it'll kill the next hit, but I'm just gonna play safe. That was a very low heal. Okay, here we go.
Excellent move. That's just what he needed. That's just what the doctor ordered. That was a very hard-fought victory against a Spectre for Jeel.
And Emptyeye has reached level 7. He gained 16 power.
That's a pretty significant boost. That's like going from a club to a broadsword. And he didn't have to spend a cent of his money for it either. Jeel, meanwhile, is going to get all the keys in the world.
Yep.
And I mean all of them. There are no keys left for anyone else. I just pray that no one's gone and locked themselves out of their living place or car or anything of the sort. Because Jeel has all the keys. You're not allowed to have any.
Yeah, he has bought his limit.
Looks like Emptyeye is going to go for level 8 in the desert at the start here. Oh, no, never mind. He stopped grinding there. Fought a few battles there. Looked like he was grinding. My mistake!
He is at the town buying stuff. Specifically, he bought chainmail.
I'm going to refresh my streams. I think I'm a little bit behind here. I don't want to think about that, son of Orpheus. I'd have my car keys disappear on me a good 30 times a day if that were the case. That don't sound too fun.
Yeah. That would not be good.
Emptyeye beating up some metal scorpions here with his violence. Maybe not, Weege. He's killing enough monsters on the way. He might have that all-important 160-something when he reaches the stairs.
$4 gold short of buying 2.
Ah, I thought they were 83, but they're 85, and that actually makes a huge difference right now. It's going to go back and hopefully swat aside a magician or a metal scorpion right quick. Get enough gold for 2 keys.
Yep, because it needs 2 to do what he wants to do.
At least in the most efficient way. Remember, Jeal did take 2 trips through the swamp cave. His first trip he used exclusively to buy gear. He wasn't too concerned about buying 2 keys that first time, but he was a lot further away from having the correct amount of money than Emptyeye was. Now I suspect that we'll see Emptyeye stock up on keys and then head over to Breckenary to buy some better gear. That is my prediction.
That's exactly what I'm expecting.
Just has to drop a save first. Never want to risk losing a key for a bunch of worthless treasure, but in this case, we know it's good. We know he'll be pleased.
Yes.
The money is where it's at right now.
That might be an edge.
Jeal's found one of the old man caves with nothing but a herb in it, sadly.
Unfortunate.
Well, if you were really desperate for herbs, you could walk in and out of there 5 or 6 times and stock up, but that's not really the case. There's 2 of them sitting in the Tantagle Treasury and enough money to buy a full set on top of that. But there's plenty of seeds where sometimes you just find that one old man with a treasure chest, and even if it's not something outrageous in there, that lets you get right back into the game, lets you get a little further ahead. Even if you're just stocking up on curse belts to sell, stocking up on herbs so you can fight a couple monsters, or just taking his money over and over again. Those old men can be very, very useful.
Indeed they can.
Oh, there's a town.
Jeal's getting a lot of good fortune running away from high-level enemies right now. looks like he's found another town.
Indeed he has, and it's Hoxness. Which he takes one look and decides not yet.
No. Just pocket the location for later. Come back when you're ready, because right now, oh my, no, neither player is ready for anything that could be on that square.
Nope.
I also know where Sherlock is now, too, or at least Jill does, rather.
Yeah, because it's right there near where Hoxness is.
That looks like a misinput on Jill's behalf, electing to swing his flimsy copper sword at the big scary knight. Not a smart decision. At least not yet.
Not yet.
Of course, he has to kill me the slowest way possible.
By the end of this race, Tantagle's going to need to build 2 new cemeteries for all the dead dragon warriors we're seeing.
Indeed. Way too many deaths so far in this seed.
Yeah, even for a dragon warrior randomizer, this is a high amount of dying. Definitely not the easiest seed in the world. I think this seed would take me forever, would be my estimate. This is the kind of seed that I don't have the patience for, with the really rough beginning. I'm terrible at these. And Emptyeye's finally made it back to Breckenary with gold in tow, so he's going to get some nice upgrades. Just a copper sword for now.
Yeah, even though he had enough money, he did not buy a shield.
He's already got a shield. He must have gotten it last time he was there. I didn't see it, but his dragon warrior is holding a shield. I'm assuming it's the large one. Otherwise, I think he would have bought it right there, right then.
Alright, well, I'll mark it for now.
I don't see any reason for him not to buy a large shield there unless he already had one, so he must have gotten it last time he was there and just didn't have enough left over for the sword.
Yeah.
Because remember, he did have to spend a good 400 or 500 gold on keys to stock up.
Right. So, yeah, he must have it, and I just missed it. So it's marked.
Yeah.
This means they both
And
have
now,
the exact same equipment.
And now, as Ouija mentioned in the chat there, Emptyeye's noticed that the Swamp Cave is actually pretty good grinding right now. Whole lot of mid-game-ish enemies. Nothing too scary, nothing too easy. Just nice, relaxing 30, 40 points of battle.
Yep. And Z-Man confirming that he had bought the large shield previously, so we're all good. And apparently Emptyeye hit 8. Doesn't appear to have been
fairly
worth much.
underwhelming level 8, but that sleep spell is actually pretty nice with some of the monsters they're running to on the world map.
Yep.
If nothing else, there's a lot of ripe opportunities for the old sleep and run.
Yep. Especially since we've seen the Stonemen.
We've seen Stonemen. Regular knights are also pretty vulnerable to sleep. And with the level of agility that he's got right now, it's probably more likely to land a sleep spell on a green dragon or an axe knight than it is to actually run away from said enemy.
Yeah, 21 agility is a bit low for level 8.
Well, the way the randomizer tends to go now is that level 8 is on average the halfway point. So you're expecting your stats to be basically for strength and agility 40 to 45, and then hit points MP to be somewhere between 45 and 60. Those would be the average level 8 stats in the randomizer. The MP is very nice in this seed, and the strength's perfectly average. Agility and hit points, not too nice, though. But right now, it looks like Emptyeye is going to pull ahead a little bit on Geel, just by the virtue of recognizing how good the grinding is in this little swamp cave passage. Or it looks as if Geel is going to tough it out in the desert outside the castle. So right now we're seeing a difference of about 250 experience, and that's probably just going to continue to get larger as long as these players are both grinding in their respective areas.
Doesn't help against that.
And Geel's up to level 8 as well now. And looks like he's going to try to get some more exploration in now. Naturally, the blue dragon has other ideas.
Yep.
Another problem facing the players as they're starting to explore now, the shape of the map, they're really bottled in a small area of the map that just has Cantigal, Brecconary, and the Swamp Cave. They have to pass through that little land bridge of trees and hills every time they want to get to the world map proper and start exploring. And of course, that's the zone, which, as we know, has Stonemen, Blue Dragons, Magiwyverns, and Wraith Knights. Not a fun place to walk through.
Not at all.
And it looks like there's at least something as bad as a rogue scorpion just right on the other side. I think in this seed, right now, I really have to respect Emptyeye's decision to grind it out inside the swamp cave until the stats get a little bit nicer, make survival a little easier on the very, very nasty world map. He has reached level 9. I did not see the level up boosts there, but right now it looks like he's just going to restock his MP, and I'm going to assume he's going to grind another level here if he's heading right back into the castle. And I should stop assuming things because I'm completely wrong.
Yep. Level 9 does not appear to have been worth too much. The highlight there would be plus 8 agility. Only 2 hit points.
Yeah, agility and hit points still well below average right now. Sorry, Emptyeye, I don't think you're quite ready to fight a rogue scorpion with where you're at. Good attempt, though. Good attempt.
And Mrs. Emptyeye has a good point. Don't assume
Yep.
anything. She should know.
Meanwhile, Jeel killing that Spectre with a very excellent move. I wish I personally could move excellently a lot more than I do. I just seem to stumble around everywhere whenever I'm doing stuff,
Can't put these guys to sleep at all.
when I'm moving.
They're hard to run from.
What a seed. We're an hour in. Neither player has managed to clear level 9 or explore more than maybe 10% of the world map, and we're still dying left and right. This is definitely on the more challenging side of the spectrum as far as seeds go in this randomizer.
Very much so.
And I think the real kicker is 9 levels in, they've only got 3 spells. And while there is use for all 3 of those spells at this point, they don't really have that game changer in the list there. Something to kind of balance out the fact that the stats are not particularly great right now.
That growth was just so bad.
And sleep keeps missing, which isn't helping.
Well, sleep doesn't matter if you don't get a turn to act.
Very true.
So, JLo, do you want to race this seed after the tournament race is over?
If only I could.
I mean, the element of surprise is gone, but it could still be worth a laugh or two.
Yeah, except I still have that little problem of no controller.
Ah. Well, Emptyye's now found Hawksness, and like Jeel before him, he was in and out. He wants nothing to do with that quite yet.
Yep, he took a look at his stats and realized, I can't do this yet.
Nothing short of a miracle is going to win the battle on that square with these stats. Basically, reasonably, their only chance would be a stone man. You cast sleep and he never wakes up. Not something to be counted on.
Nope. And then you have the other end of the spectrum where it could be something like a red dragon or golem. Which there's no way in heck they can handle either of those yet.
No, absolutely not. if it's a red dragon or a golem, they're probably reasonably going to need another 3 or 4 levels to have the hit points to even survive one attack with that really low hit point total that they've both got right now. Don't be alarmed if you keep seeing me mute my mic, JLo. I'm just trying not to cough at everyone here.
I know how that goes.
Yeah.
I can't run from a rogue scorpion. What is this? Oh my gosh.
There's a couple cases of the good old sleep and run. I think sleep and run is viable on a rogue scorpion also. I don't believe they have any particular resistance to sleep.
No, but that assumes he gets a turn.
Yeah.
That one a minute ago surprise attacked him.
And Emptyeye looks like he's had enough of dying over and over again. He's going to go grab another level in the relatively comfortable grind zone of the swamp cave, but only after attempting to open the stairs as if they were a door.
Meanwhile, Jill is blind exploring a cave that I believe is Mountain Cave.
No, it's Erdrick's cave.
Ah.
I'm impressed at how well he's navigating this in the dark. I've navigated Erdrick's cave blind before, but I'm just stumbling into walls left and right. He made that look like it was nothing. That was very impressive.
Yes, he did.
Too bad all he gets is a cursed belt. That's not an easy cave to go through when you don't have a torch. It's not one where you can just bonk your way through. There's plenty of places where you have to manually count a step, which is tough whenever you don't have that radius of the torch around you. You can, tap the button, but if you tap it too fast, you don't take a step. If you hold it too long, you take 2 steps and you lose where you're at. Very nice blind navigation there. I feel like he deserved better than a cursed belt for that effort.
Yes, he did. Oh, but he's rewarded by finding a town that could be very useful.
He's going to check the shops first, it looks like. See if he can buy that all-important silver shield down the road. Assuming the shopkeep ever decides to acknowledge that he's there. But I think most importantly here in Cantland, Gilles can get himself some coordinates. He's definitely got the MP to make it through the walkway of death.
Does not look like anyone has a silver shield. However, the flame sword and magic armor are for sale here.
Which I'm sure are both things that he would be considering taking 10 minutes to enter and re-exit Tantagold. Picking up the 2 chests in the treasury each time in order to save up for, because not a whole lot going particularly well on this seed. Of course, if he gets coordinates here, and they end up being the armor, that will bail him out significantly. We'll just have to wait and see what the old man's got for him. We will find out very shortly. Over on the Emptyeye side of things, he is just a battle away from level 10 now. And our coordinates are 26 north and 51 east. That doesn't sound like the easiest set of coordinates to manually count out. We know what the map looks like up around the starting area. That will be a bit of a doozy if Gilles elects to count it manually.
Considering the castle is pretty much... There's water to the north and west of it. To get north of the castle, you're going to have to go around east and go the long way.
Yeah.
So this is probably going to be a seed where they're going to want the princess. They're going to want GPS.
If the item on the world map ends up being necessary, Emptyeye, I think, has just hit the breakthrough level. Level 10, the stats weren't too great, but he got some very crucial spells there. He's now got Stop Spell and Hurt More.
Yep, Hurt More being
Both,
the big one. As
both
someone
are
pointed out in
top
chat.
tier spells. Top tier spells. I know Emptyeye didn't actually check what the mini-boss in Hawksness was, but you have to be thinking right now his thoughts are, I should go to Hawksness and see if I can just Hurt More or double Hurt More that thing into submission. Maybe pick me up some armor.
Yeah, with the fact that he's got Hurt More now, that could very well be possible.
And it looks like Gilles is going to put an honest attempt into counting out the coordinates. I'm going to assume he's going to get his eastern directions out of the way first because he knows the shape of the map over this way.
Yep. Yep, slow and steady. He is trying to count out.
Yep. I have nothing but respect for Gilles for trying to count this out. I don't think I would have even put in one tiny attempt at this. I'd be thinking Princess all the way with those big numbers in the shape of this map. Any numbers are possible to count out. It just is never simple whenever you have a map that is shaped more like a maze than just a square of explorable area. But we do have a pretty significant gap in experience, and now that Emptyeye has Hurt More, that is just going to get bigger and bigger over the next little while. Both players opting for very different approaches during this race. You kind of have to think if Gilles is going to catch up right now. If he's able to successfully count out his coordinates here, he really needs to find that armor to get back into the race. And it looks like he was able to remember his spot even though he was killed, so he'll be able to continue from there.
Yep. That's a good thing, especially in randomizer, where you're likely to have to go through areas that repel won't block the monsters.
Yeah, especially if you have bigger numbers, you really do need to leave yourself landmarks as you go, just in case. Repel only gets you so far, because the bigger monsters, which, let's face it, are the ones that are actually going to be killing you, repel doesn't do anything about. I remember there was at one point, several versions of the randomizer ago, must be 6 or 7 months ago now, I think there were a couple of people just talking about, after one of our races, McGrew should just make a spell called Repel More. Maybe it costs 20 MP or whatever, but you don't get into any fights whenever you have it up. Or it would work in dungeons or something. I thought it was kind of a neat idea as long as it cost a whole lot of MP, so you'd really have to think twice about using it.
Yeah, it would have to be super expensive.
And we finally got someone brave in that swamp north of Breckenary. And it looks like there is a way out of that bottleneck up there. And of course the Droll Magi has Dragon Lord Fire Breath. I don't think I have ever seen a Droll Magi in the randomizer that did not have Dragon Lord Fire Breath. Can't recall it ever happening.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sir Robin. Nice Monty Python reference there.
Brave Sir Robin ran away. Bravely ran away, away. I must have watched that movie at least 843 times in my life. How's about you, JLo? How many times have you seen that movie?
Not entirely sure. I know it's a heck of a lot.
Yeah. That's the kind of movie it is. Something that'd be kind of fun to do for a stream once is like sit down, get a Discord open with a couple other people that have seen that movie a whole ton of times, and just see how far you can get just reciting the entire script from memory with a couple other people.
That would be interesting to do.
Emptyeye's exploration is now getting somewhere. He's found himself some Cantlin, which is some good times. He also found a dark cave earlier, which he elected not to look through. I believe that was the Erdrick's cave. Because it was right in the same area as Cantlin, which Jeal had previously found.
Oh, copy paste from the IRC. They're both complaining about how bad the seed is.
Don't blame them. Don't blame them one bit. I kind of feel like it's too late for them to want to start over with another seed, though. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen that happen in the tournament. There have been some just completely unbearable seeds for a proper tournament race. But usually those restarts have happened within the first half hour. We're very solidly over an hour into the race right now. And yeah, the beginning was tough, but both players are now finding that they have actual options. We are getting somewhere.
Yes, they both now have the coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
Emptyeye, of course, with those extra 2 levels, he actually has useful spells.
Yes, Emptyeye definitely has better prospects at the moment. It's entirely possible that it was the grave. I just saw a dark area, and I'm watching several screens at once, so forgive me if I was mistaken there. If that was the grave, I have a sneaking suspicion that Emptyeye is just going to buy some torches and head right back there. And there it is. So yeah, that was a good catch. That was a good catch. I'm not sure who said that because I'm watching the streams and the chat on my tablet, so a couple of people's names aren't actually showing up in the chat room right now. That wizard is not what you want to see. Wizards are nasty. They have a 15-16 resistance to hurt and hurt more spells, and, well, every spell in general, really. Wizards are not fun at lower levels. There's plenty of other things that you can just laugh at, toss a hurt more, and forget about it. A wizard is not one of them.
So Geel did manage to reach the coordinates. It turned out to be the token.
That's a very respectable counting job. He can't be pleased with the result. I mean, it is one of the required items to finish the game, but at this point, you're a fool if you're not hoping to find the armor on any of the searchable tiles first. That is always your number one priority whenever you find early coal or you find Hawksness and you have, say, hurt more or sleep or something to deal with the monster there, or you get nice coordinates. You are looking for that Erdrick's armor.
Yeah, no doubt he wanted that to be the armor.
But finding the token is one less thing he'll have to worry about later on, at the very least. He's got that out of the way. He's just looking for the staff and the stones to finish up the rainbow drop, but he's still got to find that armor. The armor, while technically not a required item, you basically need the armor if you're going to want to finish at a reasonable level. It is just way, way too good to pass up on.
Indeed.
On top of it having the best defense of any armor in the game at plus 28, it has 4 or 5 extra abilities which make it just... You can't not get the armor. You're immune to damage from swamp tiles and magic tiles. You take half damage from hurt and hurt more spells. You take 2/3 damage from fire breath attacks. You're immune to stop spells. You recover a hit point every step. And it probably cures cancer, but that one is not actually verified. And it looked like Jeal tried to fight that stone man. Keep him asleep, heal when needed. It would have been pretty sweet if he pulled that off, actually, but with that low hit points total, I don't think it was too wise to try fighting a stone man just yet. 155 experience is pretty nice for him right now, though, since he's still under 1,000.
Yep.
And Emptyeye looks like he's possibly one battle away from level 11. Depends on the next monster he runs into.
The Sax Knight will do it.
Oh, yeah. Ouija is right. I forgot one of the perks of Erdrick's armor. You can sell it for 1 G. 1 whole G.
And important to note that level 11 gives you heal more. And Radiant.
It looks like the only spell Emptyeye is missing at level 11 is Return. Still a very useful spell, but it can be reproduced with wings if you really need to go back to Tanticle in a pinch. But based on where it's located on this particular map, and the fact that they've already looted the treasury, there'll be no want for Return until they've finished off the Dragon Lord and are just looking to head back and talk to the king and finish the game. So chances are it's a spell that they will learn as they're grinding out their remaining levels. And, well, if not, hopefully they have the presence of mind to pick up a pair of wings on the way. Because there have actually been a couple of races that we've seen that have finished at an early level, Return was not learned, and the player did not have any wings and actually had to walk from Sharlock all the way back to Tanticle. It hasn't decided any races, but it's something that we've seen happen.
The Walk of Shame.
Yes.
Whoa. Emptyeye cashing in with this cave here. Finding the Stones of Sunlight and Erdrick's sword.
Pretty hard to argue with those finds.
And on the way, he did reach the coordinates and pick up the token.
Yes. Emptyeye is firmly in control of this race right now. Probably doesn't realize that, because in a randomizer race, you are completely blind. You can never know what your opponent is doing at any time. So the pressure's always on. And Emptyeye is going to do his due diligence and check out the basement of Garen's grave. There's 2 more chests in here. The Staff of Rain could be there, or if not, maybe he gets a consolation prize in the Fighter's Ring.
Yes, either of those would be useful. The staff obviously is required.
Yes. That's the staff, the stones, and the token are really the main reason why you have to check basically every chest in the world. Once you find all those, some players will take a will take a gamble and just assume that the sword, if they haven't found it, is in Sharlock Castle, because there's 6 treasure chests in the Sharlock Treasury, and then one more just off to the side somewhere. And usually by the time you've found all the quest items and you don't have the sword, if you're missing some chests on the overworld, it's maybe like one chest in an old man cave, maybe the chest in Rimmildar. Not terribly often is it you've missed an entire mountain cave or Garen's grave or the 3 free chests in Garenham or something like that. Once again, the wizard is just saying no. Who does that wizard think he is? The fun police?
He's trying.
Yeah. I mean, that's really rough for Emptyeye. There's only one chest left that he's got to find in there. Now he's at the point where he's got to decide if it's worth it to go all the way through Garen's grave on the off chance that that last chest down at the bottom might be the staff. But in the meantime, he's at least opened 4 chests. That's more than enough to fill the array, so he can now grind his gold.
Which he has done so up to 8,600, so he's almost certainly heading to buy magic armor.
Yes. You've got him as having the silver shield. Did he actually buy that? I don't recall seeing him grinding for gold anywhere else.
Nope. That was a misclick.
Yeah, he's just got the large shield, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Oh, and he got sniped on the walk. Reloading his save.
Yeah, that's why you take those safety saves when you're carrying huge amounts of money.
Yep.
You're going back to the throne room anyway, might as well load the save. Minimal time lost, and you don't lose the money.
That's why you do those saves after a gold grind if you have to head somewhere more than about 10 steps.
Mm-hmm. Well, even then, depending on what you know of the enemies in those 10 steps, you might even want to take a save just to be sure. Because you never know. The moment you think you're safe is when a red slime gets a sneak attack up on you. You suddenly find out he has Dragon Lord Fire Breath and you're dead. That's it. You do lose a few seconds by saving your game, but just think of the time that you actually gain on top of that if you actually were to die trying to preserve your money walking somewhere. Because it takes a lot of time to get that money back.
More complaining in the race chat.
Yeah. We have a couple of legitimate dragon warriors here. They are both toughing this one out. They're going to get through this thing, and we're going to have a real satisfying finish.
Yes, whoever winds up winning this definitely will have earned it.
Agreed.
However, we have Jill found coal and picks up the magic art or the Erdrick's armor.
And you know, that is exactly what he needed.
Yes, it
Erdrick's
is.
armor is really good. There's still a real significant gap in experience, but with Erdrick's armor, he's going to have a lot more staying power as he tracks down the remaining quest items.
Yes. Especially once he finally hits level 10 and gets hurt more.
So we now know for sure that the fairy flute is on the tile in Hawksness. We don't know what the monster is because we haven't seen it yet, but we know where the fairy flute is.
However, even with Erdrick's armor, Dragonlord Fire is a one-hit kill when your max hit points is only 38. Woo, thanks, I missed it. And yes, that was a very nice level. This red dragon is not good. Manages to get away, though.
Oh, pardon my absence. Had a particularly nasty fit there.
That's okay.
Oh, that's not fun. Looks like we got a red dragon on the Hawksness tile.
Nope, that was a random. The golem he's currently fighting is the tile.
Oh, okay. I'll have to refresh my streams again, looks like.
So golem guards his weakness.
Yes. An Emptyeye sadly doesn't know that. He hasn't found coal yet.
Nope. That's why he did that. He still thinks it could be the armor.
Well, he gave her the old gentleman's try. Can't fault him for that.
Indeed, Orpheus. He will be quite upset.
Assuming he tries again right away, that is. With 67 max hit points, it's not the most comfortable fight. You're always in danger of death, because that golem is going to be rolling low to mid 40s at his peak for damage.
Yep. Even with heal more.
Yes.
And the fact that he has Erdrick's sword, so he's got decent offense. But his defense still isn't that great.
It takes a really high amount of defense for the golem's attack to not completely ruin your life. Golem and Red Dragon's attacks are not that much weaker than that of Dragon Lord 2.
And we have Jeal has found the Jerk Cave.
Yep. Doesn't have the items yet.
Nope.
We still don't know where the staff is, but we know that the stones and the sword are right next to each other inside of Garen's grave. And I have a sneaking suspicion it'll be a while before Jeal finds that, because he was at Cantlin before and missed the grave.
And I have a sneaking suspicion that the staff is going to wind up being in Garenham. Either one of the chests or whatever cave is there, because that cave is likely going to be the mountain cave.
That has to be the mountain cave now.
It has to be at this point.
Between both players, they've found everything else. And now Jeal seems to have disappeared.
Yep, he has to go. He has forfeited.
That's disappointing.
Very.
Very brutal seed, though. We're approaching the 2-hour mark and still not even any sign of the rainbow drop or any respectable sort of stats from the levels that they've gotten.
So we will continue to watch and see Emptyeye finish off the seed. Because he does have to finish for this to count as a victory. Unfortunately, he's got his mic on, so I can't use his game audio.
Oh, we've got some Rimmildar action. Better late than never, I suppose.
Yep. Nothing useful, though. The chest was just the starting 120 gold chest.
Oh, Emptyeye does have the Erdrick's armor now after being in coal. I think you forgot to update that on the old Don't You Know there.
I didn't catch that.
So yeah, unfortunate that Geel ran out of time for the race here. Definitely a very long seed, though.
Extremely.
So it looks like for tonight, our winner by default is Emptyeye, but he's going to be a good sport and finish this thing off properly.
Now, by the race rules, he has to finish for it to count.
Yes, yes.
So he will play it out.
Just has to find himself some Garenham now. Since we know it's guaranteed that the staff is either in the 3 chests within the town or in the 5 in the mountain cave at the back.
And meanwhile, he has reached 13. Strength is still annoyingly low.
13 is an unlucky number after all. In fact, overall, I would say all the stats are pretty low, except for MP, which is about average. The end is in sight, though. There aren't too many completely overpowering monsters left for MTI now. It's only a few monsters that would still pose him a real problem as he's out exploring looking for this Staff of Rain.
Especially since he just found it. Or rather, he has found the town we were looking for.
So it's got to be in here somewhere.
So it looks like the staff's going to be in the cave, but he found Fighter's Ring.
Always a nice little boost. It can make all the difference whenever you're fighting Dragon Lord at average-ish strength. Like if you're looking at 82, 83, 84 strength, that Fighter's Ring can mean the difference between a victory and a loss. But correct me if I'm wrong, I think we've seen all the weapon and armor shops now. I don't recall seeing a silver shield anywhere. I know it can happen that the silver shield just doesn't exist in any particular seed, but looks like that might be what we're seeing here. I don't remember seeing it anywhere.
And there's the staff.
And wisely casting outside, he doesn't even need to look at those other chests. He's got everything he needs.
Yep. The other chests at this point are completely worthless.
He's just got to go talk to the jerk and get the levels he needs to finish this thing up.
Yep.
If you can find a good late game grind spot, that'll speed the process along quite a bit.
He has to go find where that cave was, because he hasn't seen it yet.
That's right. It was Geel that found the jerk cave earlier.
And he has found it.
That's how you're successful at Dragon Warrior. Now, the only question left is where's he's going to grind out these last, hopefully not too many levels that he needs to finish the game up here. Looking at his stats right now, he'd want probably 30 strength and hit points before making any serious attempts at Dragon Lord. So we still have a ways to go, unless we get one of those super amazing level ups in the near future.
Yep, as we approach the 2 hour mark. The seed.
No kidding. Emptyeye elects to suicide on the blue dragon instead of casting a heal more. But he's definitely got a couple options of where he can grind. He could try Sharlock. It really depends on which enemies show up on the first floor or the other couple of groups if he's brave enough to venture that far down. We know that there's a Golem in Hawksness, which, given his low hit point total, is probably not the best option right now. That Golem in Hawksness would be good to grind on if he had about 80 max hit points. He could trade attacks and heal mores. He'd have to leave to use an in and recover MP pretty frequently, but at 255 experience of battle, really can't be beat.
That would be ideal.
But I think the best option that Emptyeye has now, not guaranteed, mind you, but if he's able to get to the bottom floor of Sharlock, and he's looking at one of the weaker enemies on the force tile, something like an Axe Knight, that probably wouldn't be too bad of a place to grind right now.
Indeed. And it appears that might be what he's thinking. As he goes into the castle.
That's a pretty respectable level up right there.
Yes, it was.
Not enough to go fight Dragonlord, but that's going to put him well on the way. The strength is still the biggest issue, but that huge amount of MP means that he might be able to fight Dragonlord with less strength than you're normally used to, assuming the gains, kind of stay in line to what we're seeing here, where the seed has above average MP but lower everything else. He might be able to win with, say, like 80 strength, assuming his MP hits around 110, 120 at the same time, which is kind of what it looks like might happen here. That MP stat is very impressive. It was your bedtime stone, man. You probably should have just stayed asleep, dude. That was very rude. That was
Extremely.
impolite. Making good use of that stop spell to fight those blue dragons. 180 battle, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're a good enemy to fight at the moment.
Looks like Emptyeye has decided he's found a more comfortable grind zone here on all these mountains. Or, never mind, he wants nothing to do with that. It was a decent idea, though. There were green dragons just hanging out.
Yep, just passing through. He's back in the castle.
I like the confidence. He's just swinging away. His hit points are in the red. He could die. There's always that really unfortunate 1 in 32 miss chance for any enemy out there. But Emptyeye is just like, nope, just going to swing away, man. It ain't going to happen. Unlucky miss on the hurt more against the AK-47.
Never something you want to see. They hit way too hard.
Yeah.
Holy hit points.
They were needed, that's for sure.
Max HP went up by 45.
Yeah. Only thing stopping us from finishing this thing off right now is the strength. Give him 13 strength, and he can do this, no problem, I would say. 13 is that magic number, gets you to that all-important 6 to 12 damage range, and he's looking at 12 heal mores right now, which should be plenty for that attack range. And especially for the hit points that he's got now. He's now over 120 hit points, so he will get the odd double attack on the Dragon Lord. He just needs the strength to get to a nice, not very impressive, but comfortable damage range. I'm thinking 6 to 12 is enough to finish with these stats. So his next level up will be at 9,750. So a little bit of work to do for that. But on the fast experience settings, as long as you keep knocking down monsters as they show up in front of you, it usually doesn't take much more than 10 minutes or so to gain a level in the late game. So assuming that Emptyeye's Dragon Warrior capital Z doesn't continue to have noodly arms until the end of time, we could see the seed being wrapped up in the next 20 minutes or so.
Very likely. It'll all depend on that next level.
It's really only the strength that's stopping him right now. The other stats, they're all perfectly reasonable. Ideally, you'd want more of every single stat, but there's nothing wrong with what he's looking at right now.
Until an AK-47 decides to make him lunch.
Food for the guns. Ouch. I have to say though, something that I've really grown to appreciate about the whole Dragon Warrior randomizer community, it's just a lot of the little, nicknames that we give everything. A specific NPC or a specific monster. Just makes it a little more fun when you're like, oh man, this AK-47 just ruined me. It's like, oh man, you should shut up about your AK-47s. I had all these problems with the fun police. And then someone else will be like, I couldn't find the jerk cave. It's fun, man.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how the error terminology has grown here.
And I think it'll continue to grow too. I personally have a grudge against the enemy, the known as the werewolf. I don't have a good, name for them yet, but oh man, one of these days I'll figure it out and it'll stick because they are the worst. Werewolves are the worst. I don't like them.
I had a seed one of my tournament matches, I forget which one, where the werewolf earned the term Deputy Fun Police. They had sleep and hurt more.
And on top of that, the werewolf are one of, I think, 4, possibly 5 enemies in the game that have an above average chance to dodge your physical attacks. The moment you think that you've got them on the ropes and you're going to win the fight, you miss, and then they turn around and breathe Dragon Lord fire breath at you or something, and you're done. I don't like werewolves. So Emptyeye is still just grinding away in Sherlock. Though it does look like he's making a concerted effort to get to the bottom and see what the mini boss is. Never a bad decision while you're grinding your levels. Just try to get down there, know what you have to deal with. Because depending on what that enemy is, sometimes you might want to mentally set aside a heal more or two if, say, you have to beat a red dragon. Or if you run into, say, a golem, you might suddenly be compelled to, say, check those coordinates where you know the fairy flute's at that you just never bothered with. Or maybe fight the monster in Hawksness and you know the fairy flute's there and you never bothered doing that. Or it could be something a little simpler too. Maybe it's just a stone golem, but you want to, set aside 2 MP to put him to sleep, right?
Right.
It's always good to have as much knowledge about the seed as possible. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Have a set of stats that will leave you with a close fight to the Dragon Lord. Get down there, you have all your MP, and then you run into a mini boss where it's like, I have to spend my MP, which means I have 1 less heal more, which take my chances of winning down from, say, 80% to 20%, because it can happen. You really want to know what is on that tile ahead of time. The good news for Emptyeye right now is that there's not much left that can actually challenge him. So the experience on the way down, while not necessarily free because his agility and therefore his defense is pretty low, it's not hard to come by. He's got a real nice hit points pool now, and he's got a ton of castings of heal more, so he can level effectively on the way down to see what that mini boss is. Very nice. Taking out the fun police. Good call on the stop spell at the beginning of the battle.
Yep. And he used one on this blue dragon for the same reason.
Well, for a different but equally valid reason. The spell hath been blocked.
He needs about 100 XP to level, so just about anything he fights should do it.
Yep. Anything but my hated werewolves will give him the level right now. In fact, I think the werewolf will do it too, because you only need 9750. Anything in here would at least give him that.
Yep. By 3 points, that was enough.
Yeah. Oh, and there it is.
Looking at his stats.
That's a winnable fight.
With that extra MP, he will now
Yes.
have 13 heal mores. That's enough.
Yep, 13 heal mores, and with 133 max hit points, that's plenty of opportunities for double attacks. So, it's not a guaranteed fight. The Dragon Lord could back attack him or do nothing but breathe fire, or he could roll really low. It's not a guaranteed fight, but the odds are definitely in Emptyeye's favor. I would say he probably wins 60% of the attempts at this level, would be my guess.
That sounds about right. I don't actually have a calculator for that, but
Yeah. But what's going to be a little different about this, because Geel unfortunately had to forfeit, there's really no reason for Emptyeye to just persevere on for this floor, see what the mini-boss is, and really see what his odds are. I can't think of any enemy that could be on that tile that would actually cause him to have to gain another level to begin making attempts at the Dragon Lord right now. But it can't hurt to check. I mean, this is just about finishing up right now.
yep. He just needs to finish.
Mm-hmm. And if you can gain a few extra experience points on the way to see what that mini-boss is, why not? Because his next descent, he can go for the level up on the way strats. Run away from the scary monsters, fight the easy ones, and maybe hit level 17 on the way and get a nice strength boost and make the fight automatic instead of you probably win, but you still can lose.
Especially since his agility is still only 70, so he's going to have trouble still running from the high-end monsters like red dragons.
Yeah, some monsters will be difficult to run away from at 70 agility. The fodder enemies, which are probably the ones he'll fight on the way down anyway, are nothing. But yeah, red dragons, AK-47s, hell, even stone golems, if you don't throw a sleep at them, are still a little tricky to run away from. And his mini-boss is going to be a blue dragon, so he knows he's got to set aside 2 MP to stop spell that guy so he doesn't have to deal with all these heal mores while he whacks him down to size. With his max MP, though, he can spare 2 MP, no problem. In fact, yeah, and there he goes. He's going to grind this blue dragon a bit until he runs out of juice. Because why not?
Why not? If you can gain that one more level on the way back down, that'll make it a bit more.
That'll turn a fight where he is the favorite but still can lose into a fight that he should win 100% of the time, assuming he at least gets a few points of strength and hit points whenever he hits that level. Yes. Sometimes the game can be cruel and it'd be like, yeah, here's like, I don't know, an agility. There's your level up, whatever. A typical Emptyeye level up.
Indeed.
But it kind of feels like he's already gotten his dose of Emptyeye levels karma-wise already this seed. There have been 2 or 3 really amazing levels and a whole ton of unsatisfactory levels, I would say.
So let's see, what does he even need? Next level will be at 12,000, so he's almost there.
Yeah, that's pretty easy to get on the way back down. And it looks like he doesn't feel comfortable with the stats that he's at. And there's really no pressure for him to even try Dragon Lord at level 16 here.
Not when it's going to be this easy to get that one more level, just to be certain.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets any kind of decent gain out of 17, it's going to be almost guaranteed.
Yeah. And he's not far away from it at all. Looks like he is going to try to get it before the castle kills him and sends him back. And why not? It just means that there's more battles he can run away from on the way down, assuming that 17 just does completely make the Dragon Lord battle automatic.
Yep.
AK-47 will send him back, though, but less than 500 experience points away. You have to think that he's just going to make sure he's got plenty of torches and herbs and just gain that tiny, tiny amount of experience on the way down, conserving MP the whole way. Because this is a very winnable situation for him already, and unless level 17 is completely horrible, it should be guaranteed at that point.
Picks up a nice 120 from that wizard. And there's the level, and we gained 22 power. So it is now pretty much guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
His damage range is going to be 11 to 22.
Yeah, that's complete overkill.
With 140 max hit points. Yeah, this is... It's pretty much formality now. He's just got to get down there.
Mm-hmm. I would say with those stats, he could spend as much as 40 MP on the way down and still be the favorite. That attack is huge.
because figure he's going to average. The middle of his range is 16, which means that would be 10 hits at maximum. Yeah, this is...
It's done.
There's no way he loses. He's
No.
just got to make the walk.
Yep. It might not be the easiest walk with some of the enemies that we've seen in there, but if Emptyeye knows how the stats work, he should know that he has a couple of heal mores to spare on the way down with little issue. Yeah. On the off chance that he can't get away from a particularly pesky red dragon or something.
Yeah, he can easily afford to spend a couple if he has to.
Our knights aren't playing too nice with him right now.
Nope, he's probably going to be forced to... No, he's just going to use an herb. Not spending a heal more yet.
That's a really strange decision for where his attack's at there. He maybe is not aware of how easy this upcoming Dragon Lord battle is for him. Failing to run from a wizard never feels good. You just kind of start to feel like the game has it out for you at that point, because it's like, dude, it's just a wizard. Just let me run already. On the plus side, we have some very underwhelming fun police on this seed. About the only way they'd be more laughable is if instead of that weak heal spell, they had a stop spell instead. You always gotta love the seeds where you find red dragons that have hurt and stop spell, especially if they're on one of the two force tiles, and you can just grind that 255 a battle in complete safety. Oh, decided to run on the 27.
Ouch. And that's totally not knowing how easy of a fight this is going to be. He should have just cast a heal more.
When he does get down there, I think he's going to be maybe a little surprised to see that he's still got 30, 40 MP left whenever he beats the Dragon Lord if he gets down there with the full amount, because he certainly doesn't need 109 MP with that attack. And that hit point level. That hit point level is nice too because a double attack is almost guaranteed every time.
Yeah, that's in the realm of he might actually get triples.
If Dragon Lord decides to not breathe fire and rolls low enough, yeah, it could absolutely happen.
Two and a half hours in, and I'm just now remembering to fix to change my runner's command. Adversary. That's because none of the towns sold Silver Shield,
Yeah, no
and they
Silver
have
Shield
annoyingly
is
low agility.
not the greatest thing to see. You always hate the seeds where the Silver Shield doesn't exist. I personally am a big fan of the Strength Agility build. Emptyeye is on Strength HP, which is clearly overkill. If he was on Strength Agility, he would have slightly less HP. He'd be at about 130, 131, but his agility would be 77, 78. And on a seed where you don't have that Silver Shield, that's kind of nice. But it doesn't really matter. It's kind of surprising that he doesn't know how easy this Dragon Lord fight is for him. He's swinging 11 to 22 with 145 attack. He's not going to need more than 10 attacks to beat the Dragon Lord, and he's going to get a ton of doubles with that hit points. As long as he doesn't get back attacked, we could even see him win without having to cast Heal more than 5 times if he gets, perfect luck the whole way through. And this, okay, there we go. We just saw cast a Heal more on the way down. Maybe he's kind of noticing, all right, yeah, maybe I got way more MP than I need. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think he's realizing just how much of a advantage he's going to have with that high strength gained last level.
Yes. Those AK-47s, man, just not playing nice. Oh, he got away on the 10. He's got to heal himself. He's got to do it. There we go. If not a heal more, at least quaff the herbs, man.
Yep, using the herbs.
Getting away on a 32. He's cutting there close here on some of these escapes. I really think he could walk into the Dragon Lord fight with, 60, 70 MP and still win.
Well, the fun police are attempting to be annoying. Oh, he's dead. "26 HP, he risked it."
Yeah, the lower than average agility is making the escapes a lot harder.
certainly is.
You got to think Emptyeye is definitely getting a little annoyed by now. That's just not being able to get away. These AK-47s keep gunning him down. Brutal.
Yes, see, refilling herbs. Good move.
Again, no reason not to here. Really can't hurt at all, but, you know, I think if we get an interview going there, we probably should let Emptyeye know that he could have been using heal more a lot more on the way down on these couple of dives that sadly did not pan out for him. Well, I don't think we'll have to. I think he'll kind of see how much MP he has left when he does beat Dragon Lord here. All right, we're back in Sherlock. This time, we're going to get down there and we're going to finish this thing off. That's what I wants to see. And Emptyeye has had enough of the AK-47. He's just going to swing away and excellent move that poor bastard to death.
I don't blame him. Those things have been a problem
He's
all
out for
seed.
blood. He wants vengeance.
Revenge.
Just gunning down those AK-47s on the first floor. If Emptyeye is in full-on bloodlust revenge mode here, we might even see him hit level 18 before he gets to the bottom.
That'd be crazy.
It could happen. I mean, when we're watching on the multi-Twitch here, or I guess just the Twitch now, he's got a face cam up, and he is visibly on tilt that he can't run away from some of these battles right now. Wisely smokes a herb there, get a few hit points back in case something nasty shows up and he can't get away. And yeah, it looks like Emptyeye is completely done of trying to run away from the Fun Police or the AKs. He is just killing these guys left and right on his way down. Aw, Emptyeye, what did that poor wizard ever do to you?
He's done messing around. He's just killing everything.
All right, we're almost there now.
Getting
Last
close.
floor. We've been here a couple times before, but this time things are going to be different. Emptyeye is out for blood. Let nothing stand in his way. We're about 11 steps and one force battle away. Come on, Emptyeye, you can do it, man. I believe in you.
And there's the mini boss.
Went first, which is kind of rough, but he can spare the heal mores. As long as he realizes that, he's done here. And he's got him stop spelled, so this blue dragon is no longer a threat. And he's going to go, looks like he's going to go right for the Dragon Lord. He's actually only 2 or 3 battles away from hitting level 18 there. But yeah, level 17 is more than enough to finish this thing off. Blue Dragon making it interesting.
He's not
Oh,
gonna make it.
no. Oh, he's still alive. Get out of there.
Nope.
Oh.
He tried to run and failed instead of casting a heal more.
Oh.
Emptyeye, please.
Yeah, he's definitely overestimating the amount of MP he needs to get down there with, because they're assuming he knew what his damage range was. There's really no reason not to cast the heal more there. Like, assuming the worst possible rolls, like say he hits 11 every attack and Dragon Lord breathes maximum fire breath every time, he still isn't going to need more than 11 heal mores to win the fight, which is 88 MP. He's going to finish this thing, though. I can see the tenacity on his face in his little webcam image there. He's a determined man. He's going to finish this thing up. We are going to have the realm be saved. That's what's going to happen. And I guarantee this should be the last dive, because with his newfound bloodlust, he's only a couple battles away from a level. He'll hit that on the way down.
Easily.
Any stat gains make this trivial. I mean, it was automatic already. Definitely not having the best luck running away from monsters, but unfortunately just not realizing how many heal mores he actually probably can burn on the way down. All right, we're back into Sherlock. We're going to take another crack at this thing here. We got a kingdom to save. Let's get her done here.
Yep.
So this wizard is going to move him up to level 18. And we have just a few more stat gains. I mean, maybe an average level at best, but now that strength is looking pretty ludicrous at 151. His damage range is going to be 12 to 25 with that attack power.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
He could conceivably kill the Dragon Lord in 6 attacks. I mean, you'd need some kind of RNG to pull that off, but it could happen when you're swinging for a max of 25 damage a shot. Yeah, we're just in full-on clean-up, finish-up mode, whatever you want to call it. Just get down there, run from everything, finish this thing off, and save the universe, you know? Not taking any chances, just going to stop spell this blue dragon before trying to run away. Or he's just going to cut him up. He doesn't like him. He does not like the blue dragon.
Choosing to just kill it to be safe.
Well, that 8 agility that he got at level 18 is actually pretty significant. That does make him the favorite to run away on any given attempt for most of the enemies in here. I'd say, I think at 78 agility, it's only the red dragons that you're not a 50% or better chance to run away from on any given try.
That sounds right, and I think it's like 80 for reds to be 50-50.
Yeah, but as we all know, 50-50 odds sounds like you win half the time, but in Dragon Warrior, you just keep losing. That's how it goes, man.
Alright, he's finally about to win the game.
Oh, yeah. This is a complete no-doubter. We just don't want to accidentally attack or cast hurt more or something when we got to be casting heal more. That is the only thing. This is a complete 100% automatic fight. You just have to execute. Got 14, 31. 44 before he's even had to go and heal himself. That is like the definition of an automatic fight, when you do a quarter of the final boss's hit points before you even have to heal yourself.
Yeah.
Now we're at 66 and another heal more. Next attack will put him at 86 damage. He's half dead already. That's 98, and he's only cast Heal More twice, now 3 times. That'll put him up. That'll put him up to 114. He's 2 attacks away from winning. He's going to finish with more than 60 MP left. That's 137. The next attack could kill him. It could very conceivably kill him on the next attack. Low roll of 13. He'll get him this time. So he's going to finish with 57 MP left.
There it is.
So congratulations, Emptyeye. You had the tenacity to stick this one out. This was a very brutal seed, but I'm proud of you. You never gave up. You persevered. You pulled through, and you finished her off. And he looks very relieved on his stream. I see the arms over the head, the lean back. He's like, oh, man, thank God it is over. Looking very pleased, very relaxed, very relieved. That's great. So, Jayla, are we going to get Emptyeye in here for a quick post-race interview? Is that what we're going to do now?
I don't know, because he's supposed to be commentary for the other race that's going on.
the other race that's been going on for close to an hour now. Yeah, this one took just a little longer than we thought it would, huh? Actually, I'm having a quick look at Tristal versus Digshake. They're an hour and 15 minutes in on that right now. So, yeah, I don't think we quite expected to have the seed that we ended up with this evening here.
Looks like he is going to pop in and talk to us a minute.
All right, perfect.
All right, he's gone off.
While we're waiting that minute there, I think I will duck out for the old bad habit there. I'll be right back with you there, JLo.
Yeah, right.
Hello?
Hello.
Ah, there we go.
That seed.
That was a thing, I tell ya. So near the end there, I eventually just started fighting Armor Knights and Red Dragons because my strength was so high and my agility was so low that honestly I think I was better off just fighting them as opposed to repeatedly trying and failing to run from them. Whether I'm right or not, I don't know, but that's really what it felt like there. It wasn't a matter of if I could beat the Dragon Lord at 17. I knew I could. It was a matter of if I could get to him between all the fun police and the AK-47s and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it came down to actually surviving to get there.
Yes, exactly. It was once I got well, especially once I was at 18. But I was kind of hoping, maybe level 18 will get me a little bit more agility or something to help my run odds because, like I said, if I got down there with all my resources, and actually I think I realized the last time I tried it at 17, I had a heal more or two I could have burned and I still would have been fine. But
Well,
if not
easily.
more
I
than
mean,
that.
look at your final battle there. You had 57 MP left.
Yeah, and that was also after I burned a heal more or two and other things to get down there as well. So, um, but yeah, wow, that seed. Um, I will take the victory. It is a little bittersweet because my opponent did forfeit. Um,
Yeah, it
I
was
just from what I
unfortunate he had to leave like that.
it was yeah. From what he said in the race chat before that, I had to presume I was ahead at the point he forfeited. But even still,
Um, he
um,
he you were level 11 at the time, so you had gotten heal more and hurt more. He was still
yes,
level 9. He did not have hurt more or heal more yet.
yeah. When he mentioned how many times do I have to? Yeah, because Hurtmore was level 10,
Yeah, and
and
then heal more was 11.
yeah. But really, once I had Hurtmore, I was like, okay, that was the level. We're good to like finally start exploring. So
But yeah, his comment, and I quote, "How many more times do I need to walk 15 cells and die failing to run?"
yes, I saw that, and that's when I realized, okay, I'm ahead because I have Hurtmore at this point. So I had to think if he had Hurtmore by then, he would not have said something like that. So, but even then, I died a fair amount after that. But
Indeed.
yes, is Jackamus trying to say something? Because I see his thing lighting up, but I can't hear him if he is.
I never try to say anything. I don't know what you're
Ah,
talking about.
there we
There
are.
he
Okay,
is.
there we go. We got it. Okay.
So MTI, congratulations on winning the race there.
Yes, thank you. I, like I said before, a little bittersweet in how I did it, but I will definitely take it. Um, especially with that ending of the seed there. There was
Yeah,
no silver
your
shield.
ending was a little rough there. I'm myself and JLo were just talking while you were making a few failed dives in the Sherlock there, and we weren't too sure if you were actually aware that your strength was so high that you could have burned as many as 5 heal mores on the way down and still won that fight at level 17. Like there
I
were,
especially the last couple times, I knew I could have burned some. I didn't know that it was necessarily five. But I knew it was definitely at least like two or three I could have burned and probably been fine. Especially with um, especially the last attempt that failed there, where I got like 3 steps away and then just could not run from that blue dragon. Again, I probably should have just fought it at that point, but
well,
um,
it's okay, really. I mean, there was really no pressure at that point because unfortunately, Geel had to drop out early. If it's any
right,
consolation to you, you were significantly ahead in the early game. Your decision to grind inside of the swamp cave pulled you way ahead there, especially when
right.
you got heal or hurt more at level 10. There was a very significant gap in experience between the two of yous there. So you were very comfortably in the lead whenever Geel had to leave.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is some small consolation. I kind of figured as much, although you never know 100%. And it was like that was a decision that I sort of agonized over because it was like, just how often do you have to grind? How many levels before you finally start like exploring without heal more or hurt more, But it was
Yeah,
just like it was just I couldn't do anything. I eventually go far enough and run into, blue dragons, golems, whatever. That was just killing me. So I was like, this is actually a pretty good grind spot. Good
and it was
experience.
too.
Yeah.
It was a very good grinding spot. You found a spot where the strongest enemy was a specter
Yeah.
or maybe a wolf lord. It's kind of debatable which one is actually tougher, but where you were at there, you had the decent mid game gear because you were able to get keys and get the money from the treasury. So you had your
Yeah.
copper sword, your chainmail, your large shield. You had your heal spell and a ton of NP. that was a very respectable decision to grind it out for a couple of levels down in the swamp cave, and that ultimately had you pull ahead quite a bit of Geel.
Right, yeah, and that's, and like I said, especially that like last level, because it was a very good mid game grinding spot, but even with everything that was going on, you never know 100%, and I don't know what I would have done if I didn't get hurt more at level 10. I don't remember what else came with that level, but I saw that and I saw I had hurt more, and I was like, okay, that paid off for me, which is good.
Yeah, when you see you have hurt more, you know that it's now go time.
Yeah, and it was
that was absolutely the right call to make on this particular seed. The start was very brutal, so that
it was a rough start. Yeah.
So whenever you're able to find that really comfortable mid-game grinding zone, and have the maturity to actually hang out there and just gain a few levels, that I think that by itself probably decided the race. If Geel unfortunately didn't have to leave early on, he did find the armor in coal about 20 minutes before you did, but I think at that point the gap in experience was too big to overcome, because you were a good 2,000 points ahead, and he still didn't have hurt more yet. So the earlier armor was perhaps not as much of an advantage as it normally would have been there.
Right, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just that start was, like you said, a very difficult start, and I tried to do a little quick exploring just to see if I could find a town quickly, and I did, and looked at what was in it, and I said, okay. And I think I died once or twice before then, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start over and get some cheap equipment, and then that way I can at least hit things for 1 or 2.
Yeah, that was another good decision there. The starting zone, I don't think, had either slimes or red slimes in it. So just being able to start over, even with that 120-ish gold that you got from the death necklace chest.
Right.
It got you the club, it got you a couple of herbs, it got you a dragon scale.
Yeah, dragon scale. So
yeah. Just something to get you started fighting drakeys and ghosts at the start of the game, so you could actually build some levels and get somewhere.
Yep, and I think at the start it was really just drakeys, and then level 2 was kind of ghosts, and then kind of sort of getting lucky with the magicians and the magic drakeys with because they both I think had heal more, which was like so now what do I do? But it eventually just came down to like hope my damage rolls were such that they didn't throw out the heal more until like
for sure. So. Like you and Geel had very similar starts in that matter. You actually restarted before Geel did to keep that small amount of gold and get the club and the dragon scale. But Geel found and got through the swamp cave before you did. He had a full set of keys earlier than you did.
Okay.
But the big thing that pulled you way ahead, probably permanently, if Geel was able to hang around and finish the race, is that you. I don't want to even say took the risk, because in this case, it was absolutely the right call to make with how difficult the seed was. But you realized that inside that swamp cave, you could beat every single enemy. You might have to heal like 3 turns in a row here and there to get to a point where you could actually swing and not die.
Right.
But you're recognizing that you could grind there comfortably, pulled you ahead, you got hurt more, and then it basically was over.
Right. Well, I don't know. You never want to say it's totally over, given given the Sharlock luck trying to get down there that I had. But I have to think he did he go strength agility or strength HP? I'm curious.
He went strength agility, which in this seed actually would have been an advantage in the long run.
That would have been the superior choice. Yeah, because. Like I said, at the end, like part of it was just frustration. Like sometimes I tend to just go on tilt and say, I think there was one seed I eventually forfeited and said something to the effect of, do you know why I just fight everything on the way down to Sharlock? This is why. Because it was a similar thing where I just failed to run from an enemy. In that case, it was the AK-47, but But I went from 120 HP to dead.
This time around, your second and third time going through Sharlock.
Yeah.
You had the webcam up. We could definitely see that you were on tilt to an extent. And
absolutely.
All right, screw it. I'm going to kill everything on the way down, and hopefully this works out,
Yeah, and that's part of it. But honestly, again, in this specific seed, I think the strength was so high and the agility and the defense were so low because there was no silver shield that I found either, and I went to every single village, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right. This is and you know that's something that can happen in the randomizer. This silver shield is not guaranteed to actually exist in any of the shops. That would have made a huge difference for you.
Right, yeah.
Especially when you hit level 18 and you were at 78 agility. If you actually had a silver shield at that point, wizards, werewolves, and green dragons would have been damage broken. But you didn't have that luxury, so everything could still hit.
Yeah, so everything was still hitting me fairly hard. Yeah. Although I will say that was one of the another sort of risk, if you will, that I took was when I died and did my gold grind, I didn't grind up to silver shield gold. Which, you know, probably a small thing in the grand scheme of things, but, you know, it was, again, okay, I haven't actually seen a silver shield yet.
Yes.
At that point, I hadn't found the mountain cave yet either. So it was like, well, you know, I don't need to grind up all that gold just yet. I still have one more big cave to find. You know, if it turns out I do have to, you know, there is a silver shield for purchase, you know, there's still the mountain cave to find. I can do the grind there if I really think I need to.
Yeah, you would have had the option to at that point, for sure.
But as it turned out, there was no silver shield, so, which, again, coupled with what seemed like some pretty low agility was, that made the dive down into Sharlock, you know, quite rough. The first 2 or 3 times, I knew I had no chance at beating the Dragon Lord. It was just kind of seeing, okay, is there maybe a better grind spot sort of in the middle floor on the bottom?
Yeah, that's what we thought the first couple times. You were just kind of scoping out what the mini boss was whenever you were level 14, 15 thereabouts, and the strength was absolutely not even worth trying.
Oh, right. No, I knew I had no chance. It was just probing, kind of trying to get to the mini boss, or if not that, see if maybe there's, you know, on the middle floors, you know, something a little easier, wizards, green dragons, that kind of thing. But there really wasn't too much that was, you know, a relatively safe grinding zone in Sharlock that I found anyway.
Yeah, no, not particularly. Not that it looked like. Something that might have been pretty nice for you. It didn't obviously happen in the seed, but if you had a force tile with the fun police, because all they had was hurt and heal.
Right, yeah. They had hurt and
something
heal.
Like that wouldn't have been too bad.
That would have been nice, yeah.
Pop. Maybe you have to toss a heal more every 2 or 3 battles where they, you know, decide to actually attack you instead of wasting their turns on hurt or heal. But something like that would have been really nice in this seed.
Yeah, it would have been nice. Anything. And fortunately, it turned out to not matter because the armor was in coal. But going to Hawksness and finding, basically, at that point, the one thing I really didn't want to see was a golem. And first off, one step before was the fun police, which I think I attacked it a couple times, and it either healed or heal moored. And I was like, well, so much for that idea. And then I take the step onto the mini boss tile, and it's a golem. And I'm like, oh, wonderful.
Yeah, this was a case where the golem was guarding his own weakness.
Yep, he was guarding the fairy flute there, so... And then, like I said, I went to Cole after that, got the armor, and I was like, okay, I have no need to go back there now. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
Fairy flute is really not something to go out of your way and look for once you've already got the armor and the token. And it's like, okay, I know where the flute is, but I don't necessarily need it. Even on the off chance that you have a golem at the mini boss tile in Sharlock, it's at worst you have to burn a heal more to get to the Dragon Lord. You might as well not even bother at that point.
Yeah, I've said a couple of times if you know, if a golem is a mini boss and it's worth fighting, you know, because it has, let's say, stop spell hurt or something like that, you know, then it is in turn not worth using the fairy flute on.
Yeah, exactly. So stop spell golems make for some of the best grinding, I have to say.
Right.
So, Emptyeye, it looks like your next opponent in the tournament is going to be John Bloody Thumbs. Do you have any thoughts about your next match that'll be happening in the next week-ish or so?
Well, this is another one where I am, at least by seeding, I guess, the favorite. But what I found is that doesn't mean a whole lot, especially, you know, because in kind of the run-up to the start of the tournament, there were a number of people practicing, and you know, a number of kind of new players to the randomizer sort of jumped in. And, you know, obviously between now and them, a lot of them have been practicing, probably more than I have, quite frankly. So, you know, I don't really put a whole lot of stock in it into the seeding. But I know he's been doing a lot of practice, a lot of work streams, if I remember correctly. So, but I will do my best, and hopefully it all works out. Hopefully the seed is a little bit easier than this one was.
Yeah, I think you deserve a break after a almost 3-hour seed.
Right. Yeah.
I think whenever you and John have your race, you guys deserve something that takes like an hour 20, an hour 30 tops.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a little bit easier, regardless of who wins or loses there. But yeah. So obviously happy to be advancing. Do kind of wish it would have been a start to finish race as opposed to, I guess, kind of a formality for the last. I don't even know how long it was there. It was
about half
probably
the
a good
race.
half the race. Yeah, it's kind of what I figured. Half, maybe 2/3 even. But either way, I will take it, and hopefully I can continue to move on here.
All right, MTI. Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck going forward, unless me and you cross paths, in which case, I hope you have the worst luck and I beat you senseless.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and likewise.
Fair enough.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see what happens with that. If the two of you wind up facing each other, it won't be until the semis. You're on opposite halves.
Don't lose until then, eh?
Yeah. All right. I'll do what I can.
All right, guys. Well, I just want to say thanks to JLo for doing the restream. Thanks to Emptyeye and Jill for being our guinea pigs. I mean, participants in the race. And, guys, I think you should follow both of the runners. So you should give both Emptyeye and jealkeja, or jealkeja. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sorry. You should give them both a follow. That would be a good idea.
All right. Let's see what's... I think there's another race going on that I was supposed to comment on. I have no idea how far along that one is. Might be done.
That other race looks like it's over.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Yep.
Quite the seed you guys ended up with here, I gotta say.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, one player's still going, but Tristel finished 15 minutes ago. Apparently using Hurtmore strats.
Ah, nice.
Ooh, that'll be something to have a gander at later on.
According to what adversary or someone was saying in my chat.
Okay. Do we know if it was like Hail Mary Hurtmore or hashtag YOLO swag overload Hurtmore that just happened to hit? Do we know one way or the other?
The only way to find out is to watch the highlight, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. Have to watch the replay of that one when it's available.
Well, all right, gentlemen. I think I'm going to cut the old call here. JLo, again, thanks for having me, man. She was good times just hanging out, talking, and watching Dragon Warriors with you and stuff. Thanks again to Emptyeye and Jill if he's around in some capacity for, doing the race that allowed us to hang out and do what we were doing. You guys are all good people. I wish you nothing but the best going forward.